For this beanie, I use 8 ply yarn and 4mm crochet hook. First of all, make chains until the length is enough for your head circumference. Here I make 50 centimeters long. This length will fit to mostly adult size. Next, connect both edges using slip stitch. Now let's pay attention on the shape of the chain. So when you make chains, this is how it looks like. It looks like V shape. Now turn over. You will find the back loop here. The first row will be double crochet using only the back loop. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, insert in the back loop here, yarn over, pull out from the back loop. Now you have 3 loops, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, take 2, 1, 2. You have 2 loops now, yarn over, take all. Now finish your first row by connecting both sides using slip stitch, and it should be on top of the 3 chains which you begin the first row with. So here 1, 2, 3 on top of the 3 chains, yarn over and slip. Second row and after, it's also double crochet, but this time we work on the back loop only. To begin with chain 3, and now pay attention on the chain here. This is the front loop, this is the back loop. So we will do the double crochet from the back loop. So yarn over into the back loop, yarn over, pull out. You have 3, yarn over, takes 2, yarn over, takes 2. Back loop, back loop, when you reach your last row, as usual, you do slip stitch to connect both sides, but this time make extra slip stitch and make a knot. Before you cut the yarn, give enough allowance to sew the top part of the beanie. Now you have complete tube. So by doing double crochet from the back loop only, you will have this pattern. So stripy pattern. If you do it through both loops like this, you won't have this stripy pattern, but it will be just plain. The next step is adding rib stitch about 5 centimeters wide for your forehead. So here is my very first chain. First step, insert the hook through the first chain, then slip stitch. Chain 3. One, 2, 3. Next, do front post stitch, yarn over around the stitch from the previous row. So not on top of the stitch, it's around the stitch. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull 2, yarn over, pull 2. Next is back post stitch. Yarn over around the stitch from the back. So around the stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull out 2, yarn over, pull out 2. So for the rest, you need to do front post stitch, then back post stitch, front post stitch, back post stitch, front post stitch, and do all the way around. Front post stitch, back post stitch, front post stitch, back post stitch, and do it all around. To finish your first row, as usual, you just connect the two edges using slip stitch. Second row and after is completely the same. Chain 3. Then you just follow the pattern here. If the previous one is front post stitch, then you do front post stitch, and the next one is back post stitch, so just repeat it until you have about 5 centimeters wide. And last slip stitch. So I have about 5 centimeters wide now. That's enough for the ribbing. Make extra slip stitch. Cut the yarn and let go. So this is how the ribbing pattern using front post stitch and back post stitch. The ribbing pattern, it's ideal for the edges around our head because it's very stretchy. So this is how it's look like if you do one front post stitch and straight away followed by back post stitch. You can also make something like this. This one is 2 front post stitch followed by 2 back post stitch, and this one is 3 from the front and 3 from the back. So this is how it looks like before we close the top part. So the last step is sewing the opening of the top part. Just use a crochet needle. Now you can make a knot to secure. Now bring your needle inside. Bring the inside out. So you see there is still small opening here. Just sew it from the inside so it will look neater. And when you finish, don't forget to make a knot to secure it. Now let's have a look from the outside. It's perfectly closed. Last but not least, don't forget to hide the tail. Just slip it here and there. Now it's done.